We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are back. It is another week, another day for Love Diaries. We're about to set it off. We got some crazy topics and some things to talk about. So tell a friend, bring a friend, share this with your peoples. Let's get this thing moving. Let's make it happen. Let me bring my man in right now. Blakwordz is here. What's going on, my brother?
Hey, what's up, bro? How are we doing?
Good. Everything's good, man. I'm a little tired, but I am good. I know I'm tired. I got my damn shirt all buttoned up to the top. I don't even know why and stuff. Oh, man. I know I am tired. Oh, man. How was your week, bro?
It's good, man. It was busy. You know, I've been, working on, renovating the place and getting, just getting stuff ready, man. You know, I had to, prepare space for my daughter and myself. And I wanted things a certain way, wanted this bar, and I had to get this, oh my God, a 700-pound slab of marble, and me and my buddy had to struggle to get that up in there and put up wood wall and incandescent lighting under the kitchen cabinets, stuff like that, man. And it's like, and then I clean it up, and then I start another project, and then it looks like a mess again. And it's like, oh my God, it's crazy.
How much time do you think you need to finish everything completely?
Hopefully at the end of the week, hopefully. By the end of the week. Yeah, it should be all done.
It'll be finished completely with everything by then?
Not completely, but it'll be livable. Yeah. It'll be livable. Yeah.
Oh, man, like I said, but I definitely admire you and any brother that is going to take the time to use their own hands to put shit like that together, because I'm not the one to do that anymore. I just can't. I just ain't got the plus probably me and my big luck on my feet. I'll probably drop some of my damn toe.
Yeah.
It's always getting hurt. So
And you're doing this after work and everything.
I can imagine tired. Oh man.
So
yeah, you're not just doing it on the weekend when you're off and shit. You're doing it after work too. Wow.
I'm doing it weekends too. So
props to you, brother. Props to you. And again, congrats on the house, because that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Owning property is always one of the best things that we can do. So you can get that and pass it down to the little ones. When they get older, and it's always a good thing.
Yeah.
That keep that prosperity chain moving.
Yeah.
In the family. That's always a big thing. So today, man, we got some interesting topics.
Yeah.
Just giving it a minute, let everybody get in here and talk with us and stuff. There's a few already. But yeah, man. So we got some topics we're going to talk about. Flipping the script a little bit, I guess, and how men are maybe taking matters into their own hands on a few issues, and how and also how women think men are a little crazy for taking matters into their own hands and stuff. That's going to be interesting. I'm definitely interested to see what the women have to say. So, ladies, you're out there. If you're listening, please chime in early, chime in often. Let us know what you believe and what you feel. There's always a give and take, and I believe that's the one way that we solve issues is by communication and understanding each other. One side might be crazy today, one side might be crazy tomorrow and stuff, but we don't figure that shit out, then we'll all be crazy and not know what the hell's going on with ourselves. But I think, man, let's get this started, man. It is Harlem Week, though. So for those of y'all, real quickly before we start this, Harlem Week starts this year. It is virtual and live. So for those of you who want to take part, you go online, harlemweek.com, and check out what's happening, get the schedule. The live events are August 8th at Grant Memorial Park, which we, better known as Grant's Tomb. From back in the day, those of you from Harlem know we just call it Grant's Tomb. and then August 14th and 15th is Harlem Week in the Street, 135th Street Festival.
Cool.
So those two events are back.
That's what I love. Yeah. And it's on 125th Street again.
No, 135th. I'm sorry, did I say 125th? 135th.
Yeah, well, what I don't understand is like Giuliani changed it way back when. I remember we used to have street vendors all up and down. Even though I'm starting to see street vendors down there. Again, I was just down there recently, not too long ago. And I saw some street vendors.
Yeah, they're out there.
Yeah, on 125th Street. Before they were up, they were a part of 125th Street.
Yeah.
And they did the stupid thing, and they put them in those like those flea market areas and stuff like that. And they moved Harlem Week, which was traditionally on 125th Street to 135th Street. I didn't dig that.
Well, that was they had to move Harlem Week. They had to move Harlem Week for it was an insurance issue and a safety issue. And they had to move it because 125th Street, a lot of people don't know, but 125th Street is the third busiest street in New York City.
Okay.
So the only two busiest streets is 42nd Street, Times Square, and 34th Street.
Okay.
Only two streets that are busier. You say if you're driving or if you're on the bus or a cab or something like that, and you want to go from river to river, it could take you an hour to get across 125th Street during the day. It's crazy. So, but they had to move it from 125th Street. We actually did a show in that. Last year, I think Tony Rogers, who had the show here, he's a creator of Harlem. And we did a show today. We actually talked about Harlem Week today. So him and Lloyd Williams actually created Harlem Week. And celebrating this year is the 47th year of Harlem Week. And
I'm older than Harlem Week.
Yeah. They do their thing. And 135th Street is where it is now. And this probably, I think it's been 135th Street now for 25 years, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
They definitely had to move in the vendors. You talked about the vendors. The vendors they got moved because the city complained that the stores were
businesses. Yeah,
they were doing it, and it was the businesses that they wanted to move there. So 125th Street, the only ones out there that are allowed to be out there are book vendors.
Okay.
If you're selling books, stuff like that, you could still get a permit and be out there. But they moved them all to first they moved them all to the Mart, 125th Street, right across from the Apollo.
Right.
25. They moved them all there, which actually was a cool space.
But the Mart's not even open anymore, is it?
Nah, man, that thing, man, that's a whole nother political conversation. We do a show on that another day. They had to shut that down, and then they moved them over to 116th Street. So they're all on 116th Street now between 5th and Lenox. So now that's the African market is called. So most of the vendors are over there now that are, but a lot of vendors who were out back in the days, man, they're not even out no more. A lot of them are old now and they're not, vending anymore. or they're selling T-shirts or sweatshirts, you know what I'm saying, that kind of thing, or just books. So, unfortunately, but, Martin 25, Harlem was a interesting place for a lot of reasons. And I used to tell people, man, one of my favorite things was to stand on 125th and 7th Avenue, and that's where all the women walk by.
Yep.
See all the beautiful women in the world walk by that spot.
I used to go out there to 125th. I forget it when they had the little concert series right in front of the Adam Clayton Powell building and stuff.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, I remember. It was one year, Jodeci, when they first came out, they were out there, and I saw a lot of celebrities out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Saw them
they still. Well, you know what? It's funny. I don't think they did it this year. I think this year they did. Last year, because of COVID, and the year before COVID, they didn't do it. The year before that, they did it, and they had because
Layla Hathaway
was doing it at Marcus Garvey Park. Was doing concerts every Tuesday or Friday, something like Thursday or something. I think it was Thursday, every Thursday. I don't know if it's going on this year or not. I know Summer Stage is back. It's in Central Park. I don't know if it's in Harlem. I forget, but yeah, but that Harlem was it still is, and it's it's changing. It's changing drastically and stuff with the hotel going up and what have you. So yeah, it is. All things change, and we're fortunate enough to get old and watch it change.
Right.
So but let's get into these topics, Bo. So the first one, let's put this up. Let's add this to the screen. You guys can read along with us and sharing this one. So
you want to read it?
A woman, I believe this is from a woman, right?
Yeah.
So she said, me, meaning her. No, I'm saying me was a man. I'm sorry. She was a man. She said, men are ashamed for having standards for women. Lady, it's not that men can't have standards. They just can't have standards women don't like. This was an actual conversation I just had now. I have no words. So,
the me was her. She has a little thing on the free thinking Ange.
Oh, okay.
She has a little thing on YouTube and such.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So so women don't like women have standards that they don't like. And that's why I want the ladies to chime in. What's a standard you don't like? I'm quite sure women have standards for men that men are like, that's not fair, or that's what have you. And what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and that's it for sure. How are you going to say men can't have standards that you don't like? What is it that women don't like?
Yeah.
First of all, let's start off. Let's always, I always believe in putting myself in line. If I'm going to talk about any topic, subject, I'm always willing to put myself on the line and what have you. And I know I have standards. And again, the word standards is an interesting word because the definition could be different for everybody and mean something different. So let's say, for example, I like smart women. So that's a standard I have. I like women who are smart. I like to have conversations. I like to talk about, interesting topics and deep stuff. And, so that's a standard that I have. I like women who are witty, who have a good sense of humor. Those are pretty much the two biggest standards I have. Probably the two biggest standards I have that I can think of right now. What about yourself?
Well, those things you mentioned, I think those are pluses. But I would say I like a good looking woman. You know what I mean?
Like a what?
I like a good looking woman.
Okay.
I think the problem is a lot of times that a lot of the sisters like to say that our ideals or our opinion of beauty is based on or influenced by popular culture or a European influence. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that I do have an appreciation for a lot of different types of women races and ethnicities and stuff. So in that, of course, you're going to like certain features and certain things when it comes to that. But I don't think it has really anything to do with the European standard. You know what I mean? Because I like Black women for what Black women give us, or for how they look, and I may like another woman for, let's say Spanish or whatever, for how they look and their features and stuff like that. Because the Spanish features have, they have certain, like Black people in general or whatever usually have wider noses and thicker lips, or fuller lips. You know what I mean? The Spanish, they also have, telltale strong features and stuff. So I think that if they feel like they don't live up to those standards, then they usually come with, oh, that's because your likes or your standards are based on the European ideal, and I don't necessarily agree. And you can't fault me for it.
Yeah. I mean, I can't fault anybody for what they like. You know what I'm saying? If I like vanilla ice cream, I like vanilla ice cream and stuff. You know what I'm saying? If I like Rocky Road, I like Rocky Road and stuff. It is what it is. That's my taste buds. If you are liking something for, as you were saying before, that are somebody told you should like, because of their impure minds, I'll use that term, their thought process of control, that's a different story. If you only, even if you like, say, for example, I know I like dark women. So, the darker they are, the better they are and stuff. For me and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I like dark women. Doesn't mean I don't date light-skinned women. You know what I'm saying? I haven't had light-skinned women in my life, and, but really, and so on and so on. But, you're attracted to what you're attracted to, but, it's if you're doing something because it's, and again, I can't, like I said, I like smart women. That's a preference, but do I like dumb women? I guess I might have dated a few, that weren't as smart as others, and they were cool. You know what I'm saying? That were cool. They, I think everybody brings something unique to the table, and if the person is genuine, you could fall in love and like that person for who they are, which should be the thing. I always say should be the first thing that you do. Is fall in love with somebody for who they are, and then hopefully everything else will work itself out.
Right, but I mean, I always looked at myself as like I don't think I'm a person that has a particular type. I don't have any particular type because I see, beauty in a lot of different races and people, women and stuff. But there's some things, certain features or whatever I like more than others. Absolutely, and but I also think that the like the roles and stuff like that, the things that we like like myself, like as far as being cooked for and taken care of that way, you know what I mean? A lot of them aren't willing to have, they don't like those traditional roles like that, you know what I mean? I think that maybe some of it has to do with the feminist movement and their how they look at things like that these days and such. But I think that a lot of these movements, I think a lot of what's going on right now is really breaking down the family structure and is making things worse and not better.
Yeah, that's really an interesting subject because I've never been one to really, especially in today's world, traditionalism, is hard because the world changes and things change. And I can't expect somebody else to conform to a traditional mindset that, I might have and they might not have it, If that was the case, then they wouldn't have to go to work. A woman wouldn't have to go to work. She would stay home and, and the man just worked. And, if he had to work 10 jobs, he had to work 10 jobs. And, but today's world, you can't survive in a household normally without income. you know. So,
and
you
that
know,
doesn't mean that the man doesn't cook and doesn't help out in that
right?
way.
Sure, exactly. That's the other part too.
Right.
I mean, I think some men, and I know you, and I believe that's not what you're saying.
Mhm.
You know, but men should do stuff. Now, again, there are some things we all have our own. I'm one that doesn't like cleaning. Saying I clean because I have to, but I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I have asthma and dust gets in my lungs and shit, you know what I'm saying? And, I can't deal with that. So, hopefully, the woman I'm with loves to clean.
Yeah,
I don't
I have a problem with cleaning. I like kind of keeping a clean house, kind of put things back, the way I'm just kind of do things like that. Like, I take something out, I use it, it goes back
Mhm.
where I got it from. You know what I mean? So whereas like things don't really get messy because it's like, hey, I use it and then it goes back. You know what I mean? Nothing really gets left there. So that's how I kind of keep things together. But it's like, we can't have things, we can't have them both ways. You know what I'm saying? It's like, listen, this is a family unit, and we do what we have to do to raise these children.
And I agree with that 100%. You do what you have to do, which also at sometimes means not being traditional at some points and stuff.
Sometimes,
like
yeah.
Trina said, what did
But
Trina
generally,
I love traditional roles, but I got tired of cooking. Okay. Yeah, Trina, I can see you as a traditional woman. I see that. And I get it clean. Me too. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
well, what's the traditional about that? If you ain't cooking and cleaning, what's traditional about it? That's like, yeah, give me the money, but I ain't cooking and cleaning.
Well, look, I'll put the high heels on for you and shit. Oh man, yeah. But I mean, again, we all have our quirks or likes and dislikes, and our things that we can't do. You know what I'm saying? Like I can clean, but I'm not the best cleaner in the world. Shit, I'm gonna stuff my clothes in the drawer and not fold them. You know what I'm saying? That's me. The room won't be messy, but shit, if you go in the drawer.
Let me tell you something, man. Like, oh my God. And sometimes you do have to hire out help because look at this. Watch this. Watch this. You got a family, right? You got to do things with the kids, right? And a lot of times on the weekends and stuff like that, you have to do things. You can't always subject the kids to chores, different things like that. Even though it's important for them to have chores and different things like that. Sometimes you have to hire out. Like me, when it comes to this renovation and stuff like that, it's at some points, you know what I mean, I had to hire out, for certain things. Some jobs was just too big for me to handle while I was working and everything else. So when you got two parents working, sometimes you do have to hire out. You know what I mean? When it comes to things of that nature and stuff, because you got to enjoy life. So in order to enjoy life, you have to be able to go places. You need time to go places. You're not always going to have time to go places if you're always grinding like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can have, because I am one the cleaning lady, maid, whatever you want to call her. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on. I'm really considering, just even hiring a personal chef. You know what I'm saying? Somebody just cook my damn food every day. I'm busy.
I need that. Yeah. I'll tell you why I need that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a single dad, right? And I work, right? Baby girl will be, off in school, and then whatever activity she has after school, right? And in the meantime, I'm trying to get to the gym, not just, and it's not just about looking good. It's about my health.
Right.
Yeah. Because I want to be around for this kid to give me some grandchildren. I want to be able to enjoy and watch them get grow. So that means I have to be healthy enough to stick around.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I didn't have her at a young age. I had her, I was young, but I didn't have her like in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? I had her when I was 33. So, which means, I gotta, and I want her to do and accomplish certain things. So I have to, wait a bit, for grandchildren. You know what I mean? And so I have to be healthy. I mean, so I got to go to the gym. So while I'm at the gym and doing all this, there's cleaning to do and there's cooking to do. So in my case, yes, I will probably hire out sometimes. I mean, to take care of some of the measures.
Sure. And the issue is, because I'm kind of the same boat. I'm very busy. I don't have time. I mean, I cook because I have to, but I will admit I probably eat out 90% of the time. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like doing that.
Tell me, man.
You know,
I'm packing on pounds and I don't even know why.
you know what I'm saying?
I haven't been able to make it to the gym because of the renovation.
Right.
And it's like, why? You know, it's crazy.
So you need to, you know, you try to, and the other thing is to, you know, you're lucky, you know, God, you know, thank God you're lucky enough to be able to afford
do that.
Yes. Not everybody can do that, and that's unfortunate. You know, we can do it, but not everybody can do it. But you know, we do, and there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? You know, we have to live your life accordingly to how you. In order for me to keep making money, I got to keep working hard. Which means I ain't got time to cook, clean, you know, all that other stuff. So,
and if we can't afford health, that means Saturdays everybody gonna get up and everybody's gonna do their little part. And we're gonna get this place clean, and then we're gonna enjoy the rest of the day. You know what I mean? Which is what I used to do. You know what I mean? I get the girls up. Okay, you got this, you got that. I take care of that, and then we went out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So you know, we all have our needs. I think it comes down to, well, you know, needs and desires are, I guess, are two different things. Sometimes people blur the line, but you know, the need that we all should have is to be healthy and to be financially stable. You know what I'm saying? You know, and secure, and to, like you said, you know, teach the younger one to do the same, and hopefully they can be better than we are. You know, my desire is for my daughter to be a hell of a lot better than I am. You know what I'm saying? In life, you know.
She's supposed to be better than me.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's supposed to be. You know, so, you know, we need to do that. But, you know, again, having maids and having housekeepers and cooks and, you know, and that's probably the only thing I need is a cook and a maid, you know.
But you know what? I got a friend that says he's got a cleaning lady. And she comes over, cleans, and does laundry. $80 he has to come every other week. I said, give me her name. She's got so many damn clients, she don't have room for me. She's got to get back to me and find me somebody. You know what I mean? Because I'm, you know what? I'm of the mindset that's now, I got things to do. Let somebody else come in and take care of that, and we'll be in the win.
Right, sure.
We got places to go. You know what I mean? And speaking of kids,
go ahead.
That'll lead right into that next subject.
You go with that.
Look at that segue.
Trina, get ready, Trina. This is for you. So that next topic was Trina says exactly. So there you go. We got things to do. Trina, you ain't got shit to do. Get your shit together and clean that house. Okay. So here we go.
This is out of control.
If we're not married, why would I give a child I carried for 9 months your last name? Why? How?
Woo!
That was number one.
The
lady,
ball.
If we're not married, it's my child, and I don't have to give my child that I carried for 9 months the last name of the man who ate my husband. He's just the father, and there's no long ties to him. Even if I was married, here's where it gets a little crazy, I think, here. Even if I was married, I don't need to give my kids my husband's last name. It's 2021. Now, there are a lot of people who do subscribe to that now. Times are changing, and a lot of people are saying, well, no, the kids don't have to have the father's last name. You know, even when people get married, women don't even want to take the man's last name when they get married.
That's just true.
You know, so there are people who are subscribing to that theory, and again, I'm not knocking them.
Right.
I'm not going to knock them. I can't, you know, but you know, the first lady. If I'm not married, why would I give child I carry for 9 months your last name? Well, my response to the first one is 9 months. Why? How would I give that man, that child, the man's last name? Maybe out of respect. Maybe out of respect that he, you know, is the father of the child. I'll just put it there. Maybe.
This right here is breaking down. Let me tell you something. We cannot go further, be better, right? And talk Black power if we don't have an intact Black family. And sentiments and statements like this is directly what's breaking down the black family right there, because they act as if they can do it on their own. You cannot produce a child on your own. You carry an embryo, but if it is not fertilized by semen, it is worthless. Okay, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It takes two to tango.
And,
Okay?
and I'm going to add to what you're saying. Is that they don't. If you think you can do it on your own, then damn it, you should have just jerked off, got a dildo, and forgot about it. You don't need a man, because that means you needed a man for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just start there first. You needed a man for some reason, whether it was an emotional tie, a sexual tie, a combination of the two, companionship, whatever it is. You did need somebody else. Mm-hmm. So therefore, you can't do this on your own. Mm-hmm. So you got pregnant, but now you're probably mad at the man for some reason, and now you want to punish him by keeping the child from him or not putting the child, in his name, and so on. So I think that's truly use the word preposterous. That somebody would do something like that. Saying, yeah, it's 2021. If the man has no issue with it, then that's one thing. Right. If you're making decisions totally on your own, that's where I have a problem. Right. If you are going to make a decision totally on your own and the man ain't got no say in it, that's fucked up. It's not fair. And I think I'm all about being fair, whatever the side of the coin it is being fair. In that case, I mean, as a woman, how is that fair?
And you know what? The goal in the statement is like, okay, if we're married, it's my child, and I don't have to give my child that I carried for 9 months the last name of a man who ate my husband. Okay, but at the same time, she would turn around and have that man hemmed up in a damn court to, for financial benefit and stuff.
That's the part I left out. I was making my statement. I forgot about it. I'm glad you mentioned it, because then that means at that point, which is still unfair, but let's get rid of the unfair point at this point. Let's not deal with that later. But at that point, then you are totally responsible for everything that child does. Mm-hmm. So then that means you are a selfish bastard at that point. Because you're thinking about yourself, and there's probably some underlying reason why you're trying to hurt that man. Mm-hmm. But B, you're also doing harm to the child, because your lack of fairness, your lack of whatever it is to keep that man name off that child, and you're probably keeping it from him. You think you can do it all on your own, is not fair to the child. The child needs his father if his father is a decent man and wants somebody who wants to be there and raise the child, help raise the child. The child needs the father also, not just the mother.
Right. The child needs both sides. They need to learn from both parents, because they get different things from either parent.
Without question. And that to me is selfish. And that's what gets me angry. Is when these statements are made for that reason. You're not just, trying to hurt the man. You are hurting the child and don't even realize it. Your selfishness is doing damage to that child for the future.
And I'm going to say this. I'm sorry. You said, you might not agree with me with this, but you don't hear stuff like this coming from other ethnicities and other races. You only hear Black women with these preposterous statements, stuff like that. I've only heard Black women have enough gall to get on some type of multimedia platform and say something like this. You know what I mean? This is crazy.
Well, I mean, the only reason why I said it's not true is I believe it's not true because I do have a lot of dealings with white people, and my sister has tons of dealings with white people.
Right.
Very wealthy, but they had the same fucking problems.
Right.
They got the women do the same damn thing. White women, the difference is I will say, baby, don't get me Trina, don't be mad at any other woman watching. I might say that maybe white women are more savvy in how they do things. Because again, they get a baby and stuff, all they got to do is have what is it, 2 babies, I think it is, and that man is locked in for life. They had 2 children by the one, be locked in for life. It's a financial thing for them, and I think with Black women, it's an emotional thing first, then it becomes a financial thing later. But they realize they can't do it by themselves. Then that's where the issue comes into play. I think, and I could be wrong, and I if I am wrong, somebody let me know and show me where my ill thinking is. But I think that sometimes we do shit emotionally for no reason.
And it's a devaluing statement. It's like you want to devalue the importance of men in this society.
And I think that's a good point. I think that's a good point there. That I can definitely co-sign is don't devalue me. And don't devalue my brother. Don't devalue my, another man, another Black man in particular, because we do have unique problems. That's one thing I would agree. We do have unique problems, that stem from slavery and other things. And the more you buy into those problems or create problems when it shouldn't be, I think there's a lot more decent Black men out there than people understand and believe.
Well, the studies show that 51% of Black men are single and childless. I've been blessed with a very good father for my children. However, you can't speak for the women whose kids' father are total assholes, who are just undeserving of the honor of being a father. You don't know every woman's situation. Well, I understand that.
That's true.
And then those men are the ones that should be taking the child support, but child support is not a tool for failed relationships. It is it is for just that. What she was talking about right there. I told him the asshole. You know what I mean? And to some degree, take accountability for having a child with a total asshole.
With an asshole, right? So, and I will agree with that. So you slept with the asshole. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't, your asshole alert didn't go off at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I tell my daughter, you don't have no business having a child with a dude that won't marry you. We need to get back to that. You know what I mean? All this just out here, just having children and stuff like that by different people right there. No. You need to get back to, if the man won't marry you, you got no business having this children. You know what I mean? Because you're talking about a 21-year commitment. You know what I mean? And if the guy, he won't marry you, what the hell are you having children for?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, but again, that's emotion. I think you have sex with somebody off emotion sometimes. Emotion of
that's lust.
Horny.
That's lust and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And everything. And you got to be very careful about that, because men, we have sex for the joy of sex. Not so much out of love. We just just like sex. We're visual. We like sex. We do it for the fun. What do they call it? Recreational sex or whatever. Is that what they call it? But unfortunately, there's the outcome a lot of times, or most times, or what is really there for is for procreation, and that's the creation of another human being. And we got to be careful if we don't see this person as someone we would want to have children with. Then we definitely have to make the proper precautions. Now, there's onus both on the men and the women. Yes, I'm not saying there's no onus on the man when it comes to that stuff like that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I have to believe, and Kevin Samuels says this shit all the time, I have to agree with what he's saying. The ultimate say so when it comes to bearing a child is on the woman, because, like she said, they carry it for 9 months and stuff, and so ultimately, they make the commitment of carrying the baby 9 months, what have you. So no child is brought into this world without a woman's say so. You know what I mean? Because we can't tell them to have or to not have. You know what I mean? So And that's just like what it is. But that's why I also, and another reason why I tell my daughter, if the dude's not gonna marry, you got no business having the guy's child. We need to stop with all these I hate to use the term, but bastard children running around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I agree. I mean, I've always said to that point that women can be their own worst enemy. And I say this to the point where, as much as I love women and I admire them and adore them and so on, whatever happens, there's a large amount of blame that probably is yours because you slept with the asshole, you had a child by the asshole, or whatever the situation is. Women are the first and last line of defense. You know what I'm saying? You're the last, because men don't have sex if you say no. You know what I'm saying? And if you say no, you need to have reasons for saying no. You need to have back to standards. You need to have better standards in your life for men. Now, of course, he got you drunk. Now, of course, he got you dropped in a nice car. Now, of course, he bought you a pair of shoes and shit, or you think he's gonna buy you a pair of shoes. You gotta date men for better reasons than you. And men also, we gotta date women for better reasons, but women in particular, because they do carry the life. You know what I'm saying? And they do have to walk around for 9 months with it. You can't walk around complaining. You know what I'm saying, for 9 months, and then for 21 years, saying from that point on, because you made a mistake. You know what I'm saying? The man was an asshole when you met him. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't see, your friends probably told you he was an asshole. And you didn't want to listen. Your mama told you he was an asshole. You didn't want to listen. You know what I'm saying? Now you're pregnant and now he's an asshole. Well, hey, you should have realized you are the first and last line of defense. That doesn't absolve brothers from being responsible.
Being responsible,
but you know what I'm saying. But again, if I'm the last, and I look at myself as being the last line of defense. You know what I'm saying? Right. If I'm gonna have sex with a woman, I know I ain't getting her pregnant.
But you know why, right? You know why?
Because
we have so much to lose. Understand? When you have a lot to lose, your whole take on this is different now. You know what I mean? Because it's like, listen, it's either you want to go to the doc and get a V, you know what I mean? Or you're going to make sure you got that Jimmy on each and every single time.
Damn right.
Okay? Because you got too much. Nobody wants to be running a court time after time after time. You know how these cases can drag on, these lawyer fees can drag on, and it costs more and more and more and more money and stuff like that. And nobody wants to be going through that nonsense. So in order, listen, 80 to 86% of men are financially ruined after a divorce.
Right.
Ruins them. You know what I mean? Whereas most cannot get back on their feet. You know what I mean? And it's,
I think we're even talking before you even get, a woman I'm more talking about the people. If you get married to the person and they get pregnant with the marriage and work, whatever, then
that's a whole different story.
Right.
That's a whole.
I'm just talking about like unwed. You know, what I'm saying
because you know what, that child support is built in there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Right.
Maybe even some spousal support.
Right.
You know what I mean.
Right.
That's built in there. Shouldn't really be. I don't really believe in spousal support because everybody's got to pay their own way. But that's built in there. Once you're married and stuff like that, and the next guy that comes along and be like, okay, you was married to this dude, yeah, I can dig that. You know what I mean? I can understand that. But for you to just be, willy-nilly and then, multiple and stuff too, it's like it's
that's
like, listen,
right.
An ex-girlfriend of mine has children with 3 different dads, 3 kids, 3 different dads.
See, and see, I probably wouldn't. I don't want to say this because I sound wrong in my brain, but I know I'm not. But I probably would have a hard time dating her if she had 3 different baby daddies. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, this girl just sleep with everybody, shit, and don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
I met her when I was about 19 to 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I found out a little later that she had two little ones. They were small. Then I found out that they had different dads. I gotta remind you that I was 19 and stuff like that. Had that been today,
Yeah, right.
Because
Right.
today, first off, I'm not dealing with a woman that has a child younger than mine.
Okay.
That's it. Because I'm looking at it like this. Are they on their way? You know what I mean? Or are you just starting off? You know what I mean?
Right.
So today is different from then and
Mm-hmm.
everything. And then after we broke up, she moved to South Carolina. I think she did get married, and she had another one. I think who is second year of college or something like that now. So yeah, but now it's three kids, three different dads. You know what I mean? The only thing that's good for you to say for her is that they're all grown. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, you gotta. I remember I had a girlfriend, and she had two kids, same father. Um, um, and at that point, I think her kids were the same age as my daughter. They were around the same age. Um, but she had two kids, but her tubes were tied.
mm,
I had respect for her.
yes,
You know what I'm saying?
yes.
She,
She's
she,
taking responsibility
right,
as listening.
exactly.
Can't do this no more.
I ain't getting pregnant by nobody else and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm divorced from my husband and had two children with him, but that shit didn't work out. I ain't taking that road again. You know what I'm saying? So I have respect for that.
I really didn't want a kid by another woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted another kid, but I didn't really want one by another woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't dig that. You know what I mean? Like I would have rather it been with my kid's mom and just deal with it that way
Mm-hmm.
than with a whole other woman, because you don't know how that. Then you have to be careful about how that situation is going to turn out and stuff. You know what I mean? And I would be smarter this time around. But my God, I can't imagine people that go through like two divorces, like two disaster relationships with their children involved.
Right.
Like, that's crazy. How do you do that two times? I don't know.
Yeah. And see that, fool me once, shame on me. You know what I'm saying? And the saying keeps going down. I mean, you can't, again, your first line of defense. That's why I look at myself and just take responsibility for me.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got a bunch of babies out there in the street because, I have respect for myself and my future, you know what I'm saying, and what I need to do. And B, also have respect for life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Having all these babies all over the place, man, I can't fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? That's just, that's just not right to the child. It's not right to myself. And as you said, even not right to my financial future. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of which, there's a show, a little off topic, but there's a show on Netflix. It's called The Upshaws.
Okay.
Right? So this is a show that's starring Mike Epps. What's my girl from The Facts of Life? Kim Fields.
Okay. Oh,
and Wanda Sykes.
Okay.
So Wanda Sykes is Kim Fields' sister. Mike Epps is, of course, the father. But he has children in a few different places. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he has a pair of what they call ghetto twins.
Mm-hmm.
You know the ghetto twin is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got kids and they're about maybe a month apart and stuff like that, but they're from separate women.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was like, wow, and everything. I wasn't even aware of that term until recently, but yeah. So that's just crazy. But speaking of kids, women are very smart in what they do. Okay, they think in ways we don't necessarily think. You know what I mean? They're thinking about what they want and getting what they want. Okay. So whereas we think about that, but in different ways, we want the house and the car and different things like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So a lot of women date men with a purpose, right? And their purpose is to conceive a child. Now you may you may have a certain look, a certain genetic trait that they like, or you may just be financially well off, and they figure, along with the fact that I have a child, I'll be well taken. I'll be well taken care of. Yeah, check out the episodes on Netflix. What men a lot of times become, because women are very shrewd in what they do, you become a surrogate, right? So you become a surrogate a lot of times if a woman may be well off or something, like she's single and she concentrated on her education and her career, right? And she don't really financially, she doesn't really need you to even take care of the child and stuff like that. But you have certain traits, certain look, you're a certain height and everything. And she said, and they go ahead. No, believe it or not, this happens a lot. And they'll go ahead and they'll have a child for this dude. They'll set this dude up or what have you, and they'll go to court, whatever, and stuff like that. And she knows for the most part she's going to have control of the kids because she'll have, physical custody and different things like that, right? And even with the one that uses the guy as a surrogate for for a financial gain and everything, they know exactly what they're doing. They have the guy in court. They'll know that they have control of the child and stuff like that. And there's really nothing that that guy can do. Like, he's playing catch up when this was like planned out, the entire time. You know what I mean? So, guys also have to. This is why fellas like me and you have to be careful and make sure that we don't fall into that trap, because I hate to say it, but a lot of guys in our age range are becoming a surrogate.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
These women are very shrewd. They know what the hell they're doing. But now, on the flip side of that, what men are starting to do are using women and hiring surrogates themselves. As a matter of fact, you can have a woman that you date and she can still be a surrogate. It all depends on the agreement that you guys have set up. If you look at Michael Jackson, for instance, like, folks was wondering like where those kids come from and stuff like that, and they had that white lady and stuff like that, and she was the mother of the kids, stuff like that. But in actuality, that was a surrogate situation. That woman knew that these kids was going to be Michael's, okay, and that he was going to have say-so over these kids, okay. So this way, he doesn't have to worry about courtroom struggles and things of that nature, because he has an agreement set up that protects him, and so that he can have kids. As a matter of fact, there's a program called Men Have Kids, or what have you. I think. Wait, let me look up.
Yeah, I just put a link in the chat area.
Okay.
That talks about
programs for men, for single men, to have children, because they want to have kids, but they don't necessarily want to be married.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So there are programs for that, or you can just have an arrangement set up. You can go to your lawyer, and if your lawyer is shrewd, he can write up a nice arrangements for you, and you can even be dating this woman.
Right.
This woman can be your surrogate, and at the end of the day, once this child is born, okay, she will understand, because the agreement will stipulate that the child, the physical custody of the child, will be with you, and you will basically have. There's no man on this planet I would have another baby for, but if I were a tricky man, he would be handpicked also. Yeah, I mean, like when I said that about women using men as surrogates, I'm talking about like these are women who were professionals and don't have any,
right,
for the most part, and they wanted children. You know what I mean? And not necessarily the man. They just wanted a man because he looked a certain way. He had a certain look that she liked. She wanted to look like that.
Right.
And then she figured that their looks together would make a great looking child. Or on the flip side, you make a substantial amount of money and she can benefit that way. And you might have the look. She's getting two. You know what I mean? But the point I'm trying to make is that men are now flipping the script, and they're going and they're getting these arrangements written up. I know because I have two myself, right? And they're getting these arrangements written up, right? And the woman signs it, and she's involved. That doesn't mean that she's not involved in the kid's life, but he's got control of. Let's not forget, they a tax write-off. Most rich don't see their children. Well,
that's true. That's actually.
I don't know if that's true in the case of the women. You know what I mean? Because
not the women,
these women want kids. These women want to go through motherhood. You know what I mean? And so far as the men, I know that that's probably true in some cases, but not in all cases.
Yeah, we're not going to say
children.
Absolute. It's not an absolute, but
yeah, people want children. You know what I mean? And they don't want to. This is another way how men are taking control of their situation when they have value and assets, and they protect their assets by doing it this way. They say, I want a kid, but I don't necessarily want a wife. I don't necessarily know if I want to get married. You know what I mean? And that's the way things are going. But is this a good thing? I don't know. Because like I said, it's still another mechanism that breaks down the family as a whole. And like I was saying earlier, you cannot have true Black power and proliferation unless the Black family is intact. And we got to figure out a way to get the Black family back together.
And that's at the end of the day, I 100% agree with you. At the end of the day, that should be our goal. That should be our goal. And part of that task, of that mission, is to make better choices.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let all the assholes go on this side of the room and all the good people on this side of the room, and let's deal with all the good people. Let's make that work. But we do have, unfortunately, bitterness on both sides. I think because of my girlfriend, she got this guy and he got her pregnant and he's an asshole and he's no good, don't take care of the baby. So now every man's an asshole. No, every man's not an asshole. Shit, just that she chose the asshole because she wanted to choose the asshole. Or maybe the man had the same issues. Oh, these the women are no good because she got pregnant. Well, you got her pregnant. You know what I'm saying? We got to take accountability for. Like I said, I'm the first line of defense for myself. If I want to sleep with a woman, I guarantee you she ain't getting pregnant. Unless I want her to, because we're getting married, or because we've already talked about it, because we are happy with our relationship, and say, yeah, we can get pregnant. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I respect my old girlfriend who had a tubes tied. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, I respect that. She took control for herself and said, you know what, this shit ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? I'm not having another baby that belonged to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? That's
like these men, they go out here, they have V-cuts. Listen, I have a friend, I'm not going to mention his name because I don't want to blow him up. But, he has a certain amount of kids right now. There's one no more. He went and got his V-cut and called it a night.
Hey, you know
what I mean?
And I'm not mad at you. You can have sex with many people you want at that point. And you don't have to wear a condom if you choose not to, and that's on you. But, you're taking responsibility for yourself and for future children who might have to grow up. I mean,
could you imagine a divorce in which you're divorcing a woman and you have 4 kids by her?
Yeah.
It's like, where do you go when you got 4? Where are you going? You ain't going no goddamn where. You have 4 kids.
Yeah, you got
nowhere.
But again,
kids get grown.
But I think that's where the issue comes in, that you have brothers who have 4 kids and 3, 4, 5 kids all over the place, and they're not really taking care of the kids, and so they get labeled assholes and deadbeat dads and so forth and so on, and then we all got to take the blame for it, and which isn't fair, what I'm saying, and I agree with Trina. I do agree that Black love is still alive. It's just that we need enough quality Black people to rise up, what I'm saying, and
there's a lot of hurt and bitterness out there.
Yeah, it was a lot of hurt and bitterness. Oh, definitely, I agree with you 100% there. There is, and we got to find a way to heal that. But I think we find a way to heal that by taking responsibility for ourselves. Right. Once you take responsibility for yourself, and you either close your legs, you know what I'm saying? What was that? Oh, I always use the adage. What was it? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that if women only slept with men who were A students, every man would be an A student.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, women have the ultimate control when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? Yes or no? You know what I'm saying? But you got to make better choices. Because there are a lot of bullshit men out there. There are, yes, there are. But you gotta discern. You can't, and that's why I get to get.
The terrible thing is that they outnumber us so bad too.
Well, that's the
terrible thing.
So you know,
what I mean?
You know, and that is, you know what I'm saying, and that is, I think, the men take advantage of that because there are so many women out there and shit, and they don't, you know, there's no need for them to try to settle down. You know what I'm saying? At some point, in some way, we have family together. The media is now selling something else. That's true.
Yeah.
People, you know, I saw that, you know, being a part of the media, I saw that. It's funny. I'm doing mostly everybody knows, being involved with the Black Wall Street project this year with the 100th anniversary and being on the forefront of that. And then and I'll make the big announcement later, but, you know, being now placed in charge of the Black Wall Street reconstruction, and the stuff that we're getting ready to do with that. And I got all these brands and sponsors and stuff like that working with us. I'm seeing the lack of Black families that are really together. There's a lot of single mothers who are trying to make it with their children. You know, some single men. There's some brothers out there who are really doing some really good stuff, man. They're having a hard time because they're trying to take care of their children. They don't have a bunch of children, but they're trying to take care of their children. But then they got to deal with not having enough money to survive off of for themselves and take care of the children because they don't. You know, again, job situations, tools of trade, or whatever the situation is. You know, they're just not making enough money. You know, so we start having babies because of that.
Mm-hmm. Listen, and another thing I'm going to say is that they try to put a certain light on this. Mm-hmm. Black fathers are amongst the most, what I'm looking for, involved fathers, you know, and it's out there. You look at, listen, go to blackdemograph.com, blackdemographics.com. Mm-hmm. Black fathers are amongst the most involved fathers in the world. Mm-hmm. Okay, if they are there, they are there, right? And but somehow we're looked at as not being there.
So
at all.
Where is there? If that's the case, and you know, let's accept that as fact. So then, where is the problem? Is it that we don't have enough quality? I don't want to use the word quality because I think all men are quality, just don't realize it. There's not enough brothers who have enough financial means or cultural or education, whatever it is, to help raise your children properly and to help the Black family survive. You know,
none of them babies worrying about what money that man bringing to the table.
That's true. That money ain't nothing to do it. Yeah, that's
true.
They
just want to see their dad.
That's true.
Okay? Ain't worrying about you know. Mm-hmm. You think what I'm saying? So if it was really about his involvement, okay, shit. If he brought his broke ass over and you had to give him a 20 spot going out to take the damn kid to the park, you do it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
I mean, you know, as Trina says, yes, you know, indeed, Black fathers are very much involved, and that is true. And I think we all, you know, I was very much involved in my daughter's life, you know, from the moment she could open her eyes and shit, I was right there. You know what I'm saying? And every day I picked her up from school, from grade school. You know, I would leave my job. And of course, I could do it because I owned the business and stuff. So I would leave. At that point, I was running a bunch of restaurants in Harlem, but I could leave. I left, go pick her up from school. I brought her back to the restaurant with me, fed her. You know what I'm saying? You know, she would do her homework there until mother came and got her, or, you know, until I took her home, or whatever the situation was. You know, I was with her damn near 7 days a week, even when I wasn't in the house anymore. You know, and I was still there. I was still, you know, as she got older, picking her up from school or going to things with her, and, you know, going to taking her out, you know, for dinner and stuff. When she got older and stuff, we were going to dinner together. You know, I probably was our first date and shit. You know what I'm saying? Going out to dinner and, you know, what have you. So, you know, I mean, yeah, we're involved. We got to figure out how we can make sure that the overall involvement of the masses of us is quality involvement. And I think that's what I'm looking at, quality involvement, so we can say, hey, you know, so people cannot point the finger at us and not, you know, saying and say, you know, black men ain't doing shit. They, you know, they just hanging out, the pants are sagging, and they're gonna wind up in jail and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, Trina just said something about that. Incarceration is what's destroying the black family.
And that's a part of the system, though. That's a system issue. The system made that the case.
Yes. But you know, at the same time, and listen, I'm not saying there are not cases where, you know, guys, you know, wind up in jail unjustly and stuff. But you know what? Stop doing stupid shit. You know, you can't rob banks. You know, like I have some sympathy. You know, I don't know if I should say it, but I got some sympathy for drug dealers because they selling drugs to, you know, to make money and stuff like that. But at the same time, you know, this shit is killing their people. You know, with the drugs that they're pushing and stuff. You know what I mean? It's just like you know, it's like, listen. You know, we listen. It's nothing wrong with going to school and getting these trades. You know, you see all these kids there. They want to get out here. They want to get high. You know, there's programs and stuff like that. There's always a shortage of carpenters and plumbers and electricians and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Those hands-on fields and stuff like that. But for whatever reason, we don't seem to be into it. You know what I mean? Electricians make.
Well, they took trades out of school. Remember, they took the trades out of school. And
but there's programs, there's apprenticeships.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like you got to get in there.
Yeah, but I don't think young black men want to do apprenticeships. I agree with you; they should, but they don't want to do it. There's not enough money. It's not this, and I think it's a cultural thing now. The hip hop culture and other things that they subscribe to do certain, and it's just a whole nother way of thinking. I know when I grew up in probably with you, I guarantee you, knowing the man that you are, that the majority of your friends are pretty much in the same boat you're in. And I'm saying they're responsible. They work hard, they make decent money, you know what I'm saying? And you know, they're good dudes. You know what I'm saying? So birds of a feather flock together, as they say. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's the same. You know, and you probably had the same opportunities. You probably at some point in your life had opportunities to sell drugs or go down a different path. And
I did, but check this out. I also, if I had a little bit more direction, I would have taken, because I'm more. You see me, right? I'm a hands-on guy. I fix shit. You dig what I'm saying? I measure, cut, do what the hell I gotta do. You know what I mean? I don't really have to call a plumber in there unless it's some serious shit. Like when it comes to messing with that boiler, I don't mess with that boiler too tight, right? But when it comes to regular other plumbing, when it comes to that, I'll install the hot water heater and all that other stuff like that. I'll do that. I can sweat pipe, threaded pipe. I can do it. You dig what I'm saying? But I wish I had the guidance, someone to tell me to go in that way. You know what I mean? My buddy's over there making $150,000 a year. Easy, local 3. You know what I mean? Easy. You know, chilling. It's like, listen, there's nothing wrong with being a brick mason. And if we get them when they're young, like, you know, a lot of them, you know, they don't have the, you know, the fortitude to go to college and sit there in front of a professor and listen to all that bullshit all the time. I get it, right? But if you grab them while they're young and you get them in those trades, you put them in the apprenticeship, should they come out and they can kick ass?
Yeah, and you know what I mean? But I think you said the key word was guidance. You know, you wish you had the guidance, and I think that's what we're lacking. There's nobody there to guide the men properly. There's not enough men there to guide them properly, and, for different reasons. A lot of us are busy. I'm saying I have, I wish I could do more with some young men myself. I used to, but I don't have time right now to do that. So I try to lead by example and say, hey, those who know me, hey, Matt, that's real cool. What you doing? Yeah, well, so I'm doing this, yada, 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 but, I don't get a chance to and I am trying to rectify that, where I have more opportunity to talk to young black men. I'm trying to put together a school and a program for that. But, we do need more quality men to have the quality of guidance, because the guidance they're getting right now is from the people hanging out in the streets, with the pants sagging and so forth and so on. And that's why we're in the position we are, because it's not that these guys are bad kids, or they just been misguided. That's all. They were just misguided, and they just need to be, find a way to turn them. That's why I applaud people like LeBron James and Jalen Rose and other athletes who have opened up these schools for black boys, and they're giving them trades, they're giving them opportunities to excel. We need to definitely have more of that, and to be great role models, and to speak up about black issues, and love your woman, and they're all married to the same woman and shit. What I'm saying, for ever since they were in high school. So we do need more of those examples to be shown, and there's tons of them out there, just that media doesn't show it.
And you know what? I'm gonna tell you something though too. I'm gonna say this, right? That there are guys out here. Every guy is not going to be Prince Charming.
Right. Sure.
Every guy is not going to have. Every guy is not going to be swaggerlicious, or whatever whatever they call it these days. You know what I'm saying? And those guys are still quality guys.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because if 51% of the men are single and childless, that means that the majority of women are all in the same damn dating pool. That means that there are dudes out there that they are totally ignoring.
Yeah, right. They're totally ignoring, you said. Yeah, they're totally ignoring. There are some good men, and I think men do the same thing with women. We ignore good women for whatever reason. Saying she doesn't, but I agree with you. There are a lot of good men that women ignore for, he doesn't have enough money, he doesn't look good enough, he doesn't, dress, and they ignore that.
Men do it too. There's I'm sure there's good women out there that aren't, won't hit the cover of Ebony and shit.
Right.
Like that.
Have the hourglass shape and stuff. Yeah.
Right.
And so I think, but again, that goes to choices we make. Are we making our choices based on superficialness and not spiritualness? You know what I'm saying? Not, who's the essence of this person? Is this person the person I can ride and die with? Saying, and vice versa, and we could build an empire together. You know what I'm saying? Or just somebody who's just going to be good in the sack for the next 10 years, and then she's going to get old, and then I'm going to need somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Are we superficially picking our mates? And that's probably.
I think we are, because I told my brother, as a matter of fact, you know what I mean? He always went after the supermodel. You know what I mean? I mean that. I don't mean that literally, but he always went after the supermodel and stuff like that. And I told him, I said, you know what? Sometimes when you realize what's really important, when your shit is together, the peace and tranquility will become more important to you than some of that.
That's maturity.
Some of that vanity.
That's maturity. You matured enough to realize, that's some bullshit out there. And you realize that, damn, peace is more important to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And other people are a piece.
She still has to be desirable, but she doesn't have to be supermodel.
Right. Exactly. It's a good woman. All you need is a good woman. Give me a good woman that I can work with, and so on and so on, and I am happy. And we definitely ain't solving no problems today. And you don't have all the answers. But ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are with us and chiming in, or the ladies, there are more of you out there. I see you. I appreciate you guys chiming in. We're just trying to figure out how to get.
You see the Melvina Keys right there on the bottom? I like that one there. See this? It says parents need to advocate for more Black male teachers. My brother was different with the white female versus the Black male.
That's true.
Okay, check this out. That's and that's probably true. But it's see the thing is this. This is the thing. Most men don't like going to jobs like like for the humanities and shit like that. Those are usually fields that women usually take up. It's just natural. I mean, traditionally and stuff like that, man. If you look at it, if you look at the whole theory behind the wage gap, it's really not a wage gap. That's really a myth. Let me tell you something. The reason why men make more overall is because they're in the STEM fields: science, technology, engineering, and math. That, or they're doing something to where they risk their life. And women generally don't go into those fields. They don't. They're teachers, they're counselors, they're psychologists, they're nurses. Those are the fields women usually take up.
I will agree with you there. I will agree with you there, because if you look at it naturally, women are the nurturers and the educators of the children. You know what I'm saying? Always. So they're going to go into educate. They're going to be school teachers more often than a man will be. You know what I'm saying? And especially a Black man is not going to be a school teacher. You know, that's what your mother did. That's what, your mother taught you. And so, yeah.
I do think more men need to be teachers, though. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Right.
I'm not disagreeing with you. But is what I'm saying is that those are fields that women typically take up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And men just don't
and
like.
Those are normally
never had it in my mind.
Jobs, and those are normally lower paying jobs and stuff. So
I wouldn't even think of it that way. Okay, my father did want to be a teacher, but I never thought to be a teacher. That was never thought an idea of mine to me to be a teacher. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It just wasn't in my thought pattern. But maybe we need to encourage more of it.
We need to. I think the next show we do should be on that. We need to have that conversation more often about men and women, how we could, maybe solve this dilemma that we're in. Maybe try to, get rid of some myths, or, find the two sides of the coin and balance it some sort of way, and just have more conversations. So maybe, ladies and gentlemen, tell a friend, bring a friend, talk to your female friends and your male friends. Tell them that, next time we'll put up the date and time, and I'll try to have some educators and some other people on.
Because if you're just chiming in, you missed some juicy stuff about surrogates.
Oh yeah, right. That's true. Yeah, you guys, you did. But read the article I put in the chat room. Read the article. Yeah, it's a nice. It's a website that and a lot of men, with surrogates, because for whatever reason, women weren't attracted to them, and they wanted to be fathers. Now, I think this article might have dealt with that one. Same thing with women. It goes, both ways and stuff. They have a desire to be a parent, and all right, I can't find a woman, or for whatever the reason is, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to buy one. Now, one of these, I read another website. It was like $45,000 you spend for a surrogate woman, for a man to get a surrogate and stuff.
Yeah. Like I said. But yeah, you can do it that way, right? Just like they have, fertility clinics and things like that, things of that nature for women. And then there are also grants, stuff like that help you with that. But the easiest way is to just go and pay to have a lawyer to write you up an agreement. That is the easiest way to do it. You pay him $1,000, whatever the case may be, or a couple of grand, or whatever the case may be. For him.
That's true, because you have just here, here's my sperm. And make it happen. Yeah, that's true.
Right. So but like I said, folks are going to surrogacy to protect themselves, so that they can raise the child where they want, how they want it, in their lives and in their homes and stuff like that, and not have to worry about what could happen in the court system. Because, like I mentioned earlier, 86% of men are ruined financially after a divorce.
Yeah, I think we got to definitely cover this again, bro, because time is over. And Tanique made a point here: same price to probably adopt.
I really adopt.
I've always been the one to say, and I'm actually thinking about doing it myself now, that every Black man or woman or couple, if they can afford to, should adopt a child. There are tons of Black children in these adoption homes,
in the
system that we could take in.
Oh my God!
Would have.
Oh my God! Let me give you a story before we close this out. I got to give you the story. I was working today, right? And this woman got on the bus, and she was on the bus. I was on the bus before, and she had gotten on and stuff like that. And she had one tied to her chest. She had a big girl, and then she had a smaller girl. So 3 kids along, right? And she gets on. She don't pay for herself or none of the other ones. Goes, I forget where she gets off. Right? She gets on the next day. Does the same thing, but she tells the driver, "Oh, I'll be right back." And she goes on down the line, whatever the case may be, and stuff like that. And we stop at a stop, and the driver's pausing, whatever, and stuff like that. I guess he's running a little ahead of schedule. And she comes up to the front, and she's like, "Oh, is this the bus that stops every so often?" And the driver asks us, "Well, are you on the rush?" She said, "Yeah, I'm in a rush." Stuff like that. Tell her, "Well, you should have took a cab, or you should have caught the bus that was before me." Right? Woman gets upset. She gets the kids. She jumps off the bus, and she's walking down the block with like some fury and stuff like that. The kids trying to tag along behind her. Let me tell you something. This woman does not need to have another child. Period. And you know what's so terrible about it? There are people out here that would be great mothers or great fathers. They're having problems, having children. But this asshole, she's got 3 of them and shouldn't have 1. And she's walking down the damn slope. So the bus waits a few minutes, whatever, stuff like that. It starts to moving. And we're at a point where we catch up to her. And she's throwing up her middle finger, to the driver and stuff like that as he's going by. So he just laughs and chuckles or whatever, and he keeps moving. She's so far up, she's like halfway up the block, and the kids are way half a block behind her. The 2 little ones and stuff like that. And I'm just looking at the whole entire situation, and I look at her. So this is a woman that don't need to have children, and she definitely don't need to have any more, because she looked like she about to ruin the ones that she got. You know what I mean? I don't know what the situation was, Dad, because I just don't know. But it's terrible and it's crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this really is a good conversation, and I wish we could go further, but time is out.
Look at this. Wait, real quick. Look, Melvina Keys, last one. Yeah. She put some. She says if my memory serves me right, 35% of men in jail as of 1997 are from failed system of foster care. I worked in a group home at one time.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. I can't tell you, but maybe 1 or 2 kids that I think might have made it.
Yeah. You're right.
They had serious issues and problems.
Yeah. We're gonna
be a parent.
Yeah, we're gonna continue this conversation at some point, and I want to get some other people on with us to talk about it. Some other experts who are in the field of education and psychology and whatever else and stuff that might. Malvina, appreciate you because you work in the medical profession and a lot of what goes on. You got to deal with a lot of this stuff all the time, as a doctor. So, and Trina, how can I forget? Trina, this is what you do.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, this is what Trina does. Trina is an expert at kids and that kind of. This is what she does. So Trina, we got to get you on, Trina, to talk about it and to tell your experiences. Yep. In the home.
Homeless. Yeah.
Sure. That's true. I mean, the system is not designed for our children to succeed, no matter where they are. That's the bottom line. We got to accept that fact. It's not designed for our children to succeed. People like myself and Blakwordz and others are not normal. So we escaped the system. We did it. We did great. We did good in spite of. But a lot of us don't. There's a lot of us that don't. I have friends who, people I grew up with who, are either dead now or in prison or, because they went the wrong way. I went this way and they went the other way, and I'm still walking, and they're sitting in the jail cell somewhere or lying in the grave. So, you're welcome, Moby, and I thank you guys for paying attention. I don't have any last words. I got a lot of stuff I want to say, but it's going to take another 2 hours. So, we'll definitely come back and revisit it. You got any last words, bro?
No, as I just stay loyal to your people. Don't criticize each other in the media, and always believe in Black love and shit.
Yeah, but that's the point. If we believe that Black love does exist still, then we'll find it. It's when we stop believing in it that it then no longer exists, and it really no longer exists in your mind, and then you're doing yourself a detriment by Trina. I love you, Trina. That's why I love my girl, Trina. Thank you, baby, for supporting me as always. You always do, Trina. You're always there for me. It is what it is. We'll continue this conversation. Some more on the surrogates, some more on the Black love. Black love is definitely the issue we need to cover a lot more. So I'm going to say goodnight. Well, as always, brother, I appreciate you and your time.
Okay.
And everybody who was on, and those who didn't feel they need to chime in. Hey, maybe next time, get thoughts together, and we'll talk about it. And
if you just came in, you can still watch the show. Just click on it.
Yeah. And feel free to comment, hit us up with an email or, message, give us your thoughts, and, we'll talk about it again, and we'll rock and roll from there. So we're out. I'm going to try and give me some sleep. I got to pack up my equipment for tomorrow. I got to go film a hackathon for Harlem Week with a bunch of kids. It's going to be interesting at City College tomorrow. So I'm going to be there all day on my feet. So 6 o'clock at night and stuff. We'll deal with these kids and filming them and get this thing ready. But it's all about the kids, man. I enjoy this kind of stuff, man. Again, work with kids. I love doing that. So thank you for your time. We're out. And Words, have a good night, brother.
Take care.
And we're going.
See y'all next week.
There you go. Peace and blessings.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.